Hello crafty friends, it's Donna here from Donna is Playing Paper, and I'm back with part 2 of the One Paper Pack 25 card series. Today we're going to look at lots of ideas for using up the scraps. Let's just recap what we've done so far. We started out with this beautiful Christmas paper pack called Tropical Christmas, which has 18 double-sided sheets in total, and also the coordinating embossed die cuts, which occasionally I refer to as cut-apouts. So if you hear me say cut-apouts, you don't need to cut them apart. These ones are already cut. We looked at using some sketches. These ones are from Sandy Olnock's Operation Right Home. And using 10 of those sketches, we made 16 cards. And now, these are the leftovers. One bigger piece, a bunch of strips, and a whole lot of embossed cut-aparts. No, embossed die cut. So now, let's have a look at 5 simple ideas for stretching those supplies to keep making cards with the scraps. Firstly, let's call this one panel and strip. If you have any decent sized pieces left, you can cut them out and back them, and then put a single strip behind them. This one happens to have a gorgeous actual picture on it, but even if it's a piece of regular patterned paper, this still works. You could put your strip centrally, to the left or the right, horizontally, it doesn't matter. You just need to level up your panel to make sure it goes over that strip without wobbling, and that's a really simple way to construct a card. You could do 2 smaller panels and a strip if that's what you have left over. I had lots of strips left over. There was a great card in about the middle of the first video that used 4 small strips, which would be a great plan for these. Or, one thing I like to do is take a strip of any size, back it, put a sentiment, and just run a little trail of sparkle up the card. I've used glitter enamel dots, but anything would be fine. That will use up the strips to make beautiful Christmas cards. And you can see by this card that it works vertically as well as horizontally. Next, let's look at some simple, repeatable ideas for using up those extra die cut pieces. The first one is to ink blend a background in a colour that will match. I've chosen Salty Ocean Distress Oxide because of the beach theme. For one of the cards, I've done a subtle blend in the middle. For the other, a nice full-on blend, which I've cut out using a vintage frames die from Paper Rose Studio. How about a quick idea using watercolours? I've chosen a watercolour that matches one of the colours in my design, and I'm going to paint some strips. Nice bold strips for the first card, and some much more delicate strips for the second card. Painting the actual strip in not clear water, and then just dropping a little bit of extra paint on the top while my board is at a slight angle, so that it will run down over the stripe. I'll dab up any extra with a paper towel and let it dry. I'm using a pierced rectangle die to cut one of these panels, and the other one I'll slice down myself using my trimmer because I want it slightly bigger. Notice the positioning of the snowman to cover that little break in my watercolour, and with a sentiment you have a nice fun Christmas card. Finally, big sentiment plus cut apart. You may have a nice big Merry Christmas stamp, or Happy Birthday if you're doing birthday cards, or a die. Another small break to say, I wish I'd used that white on white combination. Looking at it through the camera now, it looks gorgeous. Anyway, back to this. I'm going to use this Merry Christmas die. I'm inlaying the Merry so that the Christmas can be glued down nice and flat. I've also used the same pierced rectangle die to make 2 cards with this one. Any big sentiment stamp or die will work for this design. So there's my 2 cents worth on things that I do when I have bits and pieces left over from making multiple cards. I still have enough bits and pieces here to make probably another 20 cards. I hope that gives you some ideas for using up the rest of a pack that you've been making cards from, or perhaps some leftovers that are floating around your room. That's all for today's cards. I'm going to leave you with a bunch of pictures of the different cards. I will be back soon with another video, so feel free to like and subscribe and press the bell if you want to be told when that comes up. Bye for now.